Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Hyphenate here, and today we're going to talk about what aperture you should use when shooting group portraits versus individual portraits. Now, I'm not going to really go over ISO or shutter speed. I'm going to assume that you know how to set those settings to get the right look that you want depending on your lighting situation. We're going to focus on the aperture specifically. Now, personally, I'm a fan of shooting with fast lenses, wide open f1.2, f1.4, 1.8, etc. Now, when you're shooting with one person, a shallow depth of field is not really an issue because you're only focusing on one face. However, when you have more than one person, you could have issues if the other people are at a different depth or not the same distance from the lens. And with wider apertures, even small differences in distance can really change what's sharp and what's blurry. So for me, the simple rule is if you're shooting with wide apertures and multiple people, keep them all lined up side by side. If the group is too large, then you're going to have to get further back. Now, if you can't do that and you need to stack people up in rows or have some people in front of other people, then you're actually going to have to change your aperture. The moment I have anybody either behind someone's shoulder or sitting in front of someone else, I'm changing the aperture so that more of the image is in focus. If you're focusing on a face in a certain row, even then you'll still have some blur in whatever faces are not at the same row that you focused on. However, it won't be as noticeable. Now, if you're going for a stylistic look where you have people in focus and the people behind them are blurry, or vice versa, then shooting wide open is not going to be a problem because you're going for a specific look. But if the goal is to get everybody looking pretty sharp, then the only real way to do that is by having a higher f-stop, a more narrow aperture. Now, the downside of that is that it will affect the light. So having a higher aperture will make your image darker. So then you're going to have to compensate with either higher output of your flash, your lights, increasing your ISO, or slowing down your shutter speed. Now, if you're not too familiar with the fundamental settings for cameras for manual shooting, such as shutter speed, ISO, aperture, white balance, I do have videos on this channel, one for video and one for photo, that breaks down those fundamental settings. Link in the description. Now, one quick note is if you're shooting individual portraits or even group portraits, but you'll notice this more with individual portraits. If the background is too blurry, if you're shooting too wide and you want some of that background, then you're gonna have to change your aperture. Obviously make it more narrow so that the background is a little bit more in focus and you can see more definition. So there you guys have it. That's my quick tip on setting your aperture for group portraits versus individual portraits. Now on this channel, I do have a playlist with a lot more photography tips, so go ahead and check that out. Also, if you're interested in any of the gear that I use, I do have links in the description where you can purchase them. It doesn't change the price you get it at, but it does help this channel. Please make sure to drop a like on this video, drop a comment below if you have any questions, and please make sure to subscribe. I have a lot more videos coming soon. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.